Who inspires you? Your mother? Your child? Inspiration comes in many forms, and at WBGU-TV, you inspire us to bring entertaining and educational programming to our region. Get inspired, stay inspired.
Even though the museum has been open since the 1980s, people still don't know that we have a museum here.
Hancock Historical Museum was founded in 1970 by 5 Findlay residents to collect and preserve the unique history of Hancock County. Our exhibits pertain to the glass industry, the oil and gas boom, the Civil War, and other aspects of Hancock County history. Usually in the fall and spring we have thousands of school groups that come through the museum, primarily 3rd, 4th, and 5th grade students from Hancock County. And we have different programs we do with them. The 3rd grade often visits our one-room schoolhouse, which is called the Little Red Schoolhouse.
What's really interesting about it is that it wasn't used for 30-some years. They put grain in it, and people had just kind of forgotten it. But now that it's been restored, they've gotten all kinds of, all the furnishings they found in the community that people had kept. And it's just a really unique relic that we shouldn't ever let go.
Also on the museum campus, which is in downtown Findlay, we have our exhibit center, which is connected to the Hall-Flater House. We also have our agricultural barn and transportation building, as well as an 1840s log house. The Hall-Flater House is part of the museum. It's our 1881 house.
The museum did not start until the 1980s, and we didn't get involved until about 1996 is when the historical reenactors came together.
I think it's a great way of learning history, and especially for the young people.
I love being in this house, and then I love to put myself in the situation and get the feeling that this is kind of what it was like when May Hall was here, and that's who I usually portray. I think it represents it very well when we put ourselves in the position and we bring the Hall family back to life.
The people involved in the reenacting are fun to talk to. They have a shared goal. The idea of preserving the history of the community and showing people what it was like is important to me.
We learned how to portray ourselves as a family member, because people will always throw weird questions at you to try to throw you out of character. I think the best one I've ever been asked is, who changes light bulbs? And I said, Madam, I do not involve myself in the household affairs of my mother's home. And that was my answer, and I guess I answered it right, because she went around telling everybody the great answer I had for her.
In the particular spot we are right now, the museum has attempted to create a Hall family Christmas from about 1899. And that Christmas tableau would have had the Hall family in it, their family and their friends and their relatives. And so I become part of that picture. The members of the friends of the Hall family had a Christmas celebration in the Hall house.
We are in the front hallway. This was built extra. This particular spiral staircase here was a block staircase. However, Mr. Hall's 2 daughters were going to get married, and so he built this spiral staircase so she could come down it.
This was the house when it was built, and it also was one of the first homes to have the lights and the heating by the gas, and people actually would go across the street to avoid this house because they thought it would blow up.
I feel that if people don't know their history, they certainly don't know how to go on into the future.
Until we have every person knowing that we have a museum here, we have to keep going and keeping the history alive.
Scenic Stops is brought to you by WBGU-TV. Support great local programming by giving now at wbgu.org/pledge.